For welcoming us this evening. My name is Megan Henshaw and I'm proudly representing Ronald McDonald House, South Central Ontario, just steps away from McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton. I am joined by my friend and Ronald McDonald House alumni mom, Vanessa, who will share her story shortly. Our pronouns are both she, her. Before I begin, I want to bring something into the room with us tonight. Would you please raise your hand if you or somebody that you know has ever had a sick child? If we take a look around, we see a lot of hands, and we see that these families are often our colleagues, our friends, and they're sometimes even ourselves. And what all of our families at Ronald McDonald House have in common is that they never expected to need the support of RMH. We are one of 16 Ronald McDonald House programs in Canada. We operate a 41-bedroom home, 3 family rooms, 2 of which are located inside McMaster Children's Hospital, and 3 hospitality carts, including one at MAC. We are here tonight in Burlington because McMaster Children's Hospital is your children's hospital. These family rooms are for families from your community. And while Burlington families are fortunate enough to live within driving distance of the hospital, proximity does not lessen the experience of having a seriously ill child. Parents often spend long days, sometimes weeks or even months at their child's bedside, unwilling to leave, even for a meal or for a moment of rest. In 2025 alone, more than 17,800 families from the Halton region accessed care at McMaster, representing over 45,000 visits. In Halton, it was the 3rd highest region of patient visits to the hospital alone in 2025. And while world-class medical care is covered by our healthcare system, everything surrounding that care is not. There is a large need, the basic cost of simply being present for your child. For many families, simply being bedside to their child in hospital costs between $250 and $500 every single day. Not for medical care, but just to be there, for meals and toiletries and snacks and parking and gas and laundry and time away from work. Again, thank you. And that's where we come in. For families in your community, our family rooms are calm, welcoming spaces just steps away from patient rooms, offering a place to rest, a hot coffee, a warm meal, and access to laundry and basic essentials, all completely free of charge. For those who cannot leave bedside, our hospitality cart moves throughout the hospital, delivering coffee and snacks and toiletries directly to these families. They may be very small spaces, but they carry families through some of the hardest moments of their lives. And we are able to do this work because of community support. To put it into perspective, support from just 100 of you could fund approximately 2 months of operations for the family room and for the hospitality cart. We receive absolutely no government funding, and approximately 30% of our budget is supported by McDonald's through their own internal fundraising efforts such as McHappy Day and their Roundup campaign. The remaining 70% is raised through community generosity, through partnerships like this one, and through people who believe that families should never have to face a child's illness alone. And without that support, these family rooms would not exist. And while we cannot change a child's diagnosis or the course of their treatment, your support allows us to do something just as critical, to be there for families and caregivers when they need us most. Because when a child is seriously ill, the parents don't leave. They stay. They sleep in chairs, they sleep on recliners, they sleep in cars, they sleep in the waiting rooms. They wear the same clothes that they arrived into the hospital, and they survive on cafeteria food and snacks from the vending machines, and they do it all because they don't want to leave their child's side. No parent should have to endure that alone. So when a family from your community walks into a Ronald McDonald House, it is often the very first time that they can exhale. A home-cooked meal so that a parent finally eats something nourishing, laundry so that a child's stuffed animal smells like home again, a toothbrush, a deodorant stick, a moment of normalcy. I served a mother from our hospitality cart, and she quietly asked if we had toothpaste. I handed her a toothbrush as well, and she paused and said, "I've been brushing my teeth with my finger." Let that sink in for a minute. These are not rare stories. These are everyday realities for families from your community whose entire world has been turned upside down. These families are exhausted, they are overwhelmed, and their own needs fall to the very bottom of the list. Now, with families top of mind, it is now my absolute pleasure to let Vanessa share her story, because while I can share about our mission, it's like no other to hear from a family who's experienced it themselves.
Thanks, Megan. Hi, everyone. I'm Vanessa. I'm a mom to Nate and Miles, who you would have seen on the screen. And our family is from Beamsville, about a 40-minute drive to McMaster, except on days when you need to go by ambulance. When Megan asked me to speak, I thought I would share a quick story about one of the many times Ronald McDonald House was there for us. Our son Nate has a life-threatening heart condition that can cause his heart to beat over 300 beats per minute. It's very unpredictable. One day, I was out with Nate when he started to feel unwell, so I began driving towards McMaster. But his condition deteriorated quickly, and I found myself pulled over on the side of the QEW, pleading with 911 to get there as fast as possible. Nate was in critical condition. I had to leave our car on the side of the highway and get into the ambulance as he was rushed to McMaster. In that moment, you don't think about anything else. At that night, Nate was resuscitated for hours and admitted to the PICU. I hadn't eaten all day. As Megan said, I was completely depleted. That's the part that people don't always see, because when you're a parent of a critically ill child, you arrive at the hospital and then you stay for days, weeks, in our case, sometimes months. You don't leave because you can't. And suddenly, those basic needs that Megan spoke about, they become very, very real. For us, Ronald McDonald Family Room became something we relied on. Not just that night, but every single day. It's a place where you can step away for a few minutes, have a coffee, eat something, or just take a breath without leaving the hospital, and then go right back to your sick child. There's something incredible about having a place that feels even a little bit human, a place for a moment where you're not in crisis, you're still their parent. Over the course of our journey, Nate has spent more than 200 nights connected to Ronald McDonald House, and I can say that we've probably visited the family room thousands of times. We are one of many local families who needed this support. What Ronald McDonald House gave us wasn't just a place to go, it gave us the ability to keep on going, to stay close and present, and to be the parents our child needs in the hardest moments of our lives. And when your child is fighting for their life, that is absolutely everything. Thanks.